What is up, my people? Hello and welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the Cup Chasers podcast here with my man Nez and Asif every single time. Of course, thanks for being here. It's been a crazy week, a full week, an amazing week for me, I would say, since last we got together on the pod here. And yeah, some out, some in, some 9-point lead at the top, some stumbling to lowly Tottenham. Of course, Champions League fallout, craziness on the Premier League clubs. Not doing great, just not doing great in the Champions League. After getting 6 of us into the last 16, it's gone very poorly. Lots of massive scorelines in the Champions League. But Arsenal and Liverpool still carrying the flag through. Tony Hawk and the gang not really inspiring versus Real Madrid, unfortunately, crashing out. And right before the Carabao Cup Final at the weekend, of course, both parties in very separate moods, you might think, especially given the results of the Premier League at the weekend. But that's not the only thing that's happening next weekend. Of course, there is Premier League action, lots of spicy fixtures, and there's been some madness in the international game as well. So we're going to try to touch on as much of it as we can, or we'll just see where the conversation leads. But of course, I hope you're happy. I hope you're well. Go and smash up the likes on your way in. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. It would be an honor, a pleasure, and a privilege to welcome you to the community. And I want to know what you're thinking in the comment section down below. Gentlemen, how are we?
I am good. Not as good as Nez over there. Well, right. Because I was just wondering what's going on when I saw him.
Hey, man, I'm a dinosaur.
He's a dinosaur today.
He got teeth, and he got a face and a nose. I think that's a nose, a nostril.
Look, he identifies as a dinosaur today, and we're going with
as a dinosaur. Maybe that's arcade.
If that was what you want to put on your tick list when you get one of those forms, you go ahead.
Yeah, right on the form. It's official. Dinosaur.
Yeah, man. I think it's cool, but it's the funny thing is it's been a lot of football, man. These score lines are crazy, man. Like it's competitive football, but it hasn't been competitive football for Champions League. So the goal. Hopefully, and I could own where my team is, but that the next round is better. I mean, obviously people are watching for fandoms and stuff like that and stuff, but you want better games than what you've seen.
It will be. I think it will be. I think there's some good matchups. I mean, Atletico Madrid and Barcelona went 4-3 in the semifinal of the Copa del Rey a couple weeks ago.
About
a month ago.
But like on one side, you got PSG and Liverpool, which I actually think will be a pretty good fixture. I think it'll be decent. And here's why I think it'll be decent is because, at this point, I think they've kind of tried that Wirtz is getting better. You see that. And I just think overall the team is there. Once you get this far, I think it's a matter of finding, your legs and saying, okay, well, we just need to show up for these fixtures. Yes, the Spurs game was there, and we will obviously get there.
That was absolutely fucking shocking.
But hey, we talking about Champions League, man. We gotta live in the now. We living in the now. So so I think they'll have something for PSG. PSG might get their schedule pushed a little bit further, so they'll move games around to Christmas. But you should be fine to play them. And the Madrid Bayern fixture, I personally think that Bayern is going to smack them. I think Bayern is better than them overall.
Yeah,
because Madrid beat a City team that wasn't that good. I can own that. I can call it. They weren't impressive in the victory they had. So it was kind of what it was. Barcelona, Atletico. I agree, but I think
they've driven you to be a dinosaur after that performance.
I am oil. And so
it's becoming clear.
Yes. And the thing is, but I think Barcelona does better against Atletico here because it's Champions League. I think it's a very different thing than like the N Nation Cups.
They
And I mean, Arsenal should do well against Sporting, even though Sporting, man,
they were ruthless as well.
They do some work, man. They did some work. I was like, God. Everybody
watched it. I watched it up until Sporting went ahead. Like I was watching that game, but not doing a watch along, and so I started the Arsenal watch along while that game was still going on. But I couldn't focus on both. You know,
they did some work, man.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did.
Like
that was a great result. No one.
Yeah, they just came out and said, "Look, we're gonna come at you with everything we have for the whole time." And if it works, it works. And it did.
It works.
And it absolutely did. Yeah, but I think, in that vein, something that worked, I think we'll start with you, Asif. Nice 4-0 win over Galatasaray this evening. And I will say that after Konate absolutely hamstrings Osimhen, he breaks his hand. Like, it's clearly deliberate. And I can't believe Konate isn't fined and banned for the just crazy. No, I'm just kidding. I have no idea. I don't know what happened. Like, maybe Osimhen has like smacked Konate's knee or something when he's swung his arm down. I'm still not sure, but I think he's broke his arm or something.
Deliberate. Yeah.
Oh no, it was not deliberate at all. He's just swung his arm and he's like, I don't know what happened, but it was so bad that he was non-existent from the 20th minute.
With that performance, you just got to really think, what on earth were we doing against Tottenham?
Yeah.
Because that's like one end of the spectrum to the other. If you look at it, we played really well today. Did the job. Even Salah were getting in on the act. Szoboszlai, main man again. Got the goal to get us rolling. I think at Anfield we normally do well, and but we've been slipping up against teams that we should be beating. Slot needs to go because just of that fact, we're not consistent. We're slipping up against teams. That's been basically our season. We've been. That's been happening. We had that run, and then, if you remember, we were top of the. You shouldn't hide anything. Slot deserves to go, Aaron. He shouldn't be hiding anything. I'm not the kind of person to hide and just one after one performance.
Hey, Arun. To be fair. Asif has been absolutely slating Slot in our group chat. To be fair, he's been giving it for sure.
That was absolutely horrible. If we can't beat Tottenham Hospital, and I mean that, I'm not Hotspur, Hospital, after how many players were out, and we don't deserve to be in the Champions League spots. It's simple as that. He needs to go. And Jake sent us a video the other day in our group chat about idea that they had about getting Gerrard in till the end of the season, and then he can motivate them, and then from there we can get Xavi Alonso at the end of the season. I think that would be.
He was there tonight.
Yeah,
Stevie G was in a box tonight. There. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe there's something. Maybe there's a reason he was there tonight.
Hopefully, I'd rather have him in. I think he'd motivate the squad. And because he's a legend. Then we could put him as assistant to Xavi Alonso. I think that would be a good thing going forward. So even then, that would be. And then I think that's basically it. There's these guys giving you smoke as well for the hat.
Yeah. It was a great save from Bernardo. We'll get there though, Arun. We'll definitely get there.
I just think it's absolutely horrible. The guy, he needs to go. He needs to take his shiny bald head and he needs to go home.
So let's try to address it in this kind of fashion where I ask you to kind of contrast the performances, because for me it's got to be a mental thing. Like, your approach against Tottenham was slow. It was methodical. It was arrogant and complacent, I would say. But tonight there was an awareness that, we have to step up. This has to be it. Is that all on Slot, or does Van Dijk maybe take some responsibility for kind of helping the team have that kind of mentality? I mean, he is the experienced veteran in the team, especially when Mo Salah is playing like he is.
No, I think nothing to do with the leadership there. I think it was more to do with tactics. He got it wrong, basically. Especially we should have been putting more pressure on those centre backs, basically.
Yeah, I agree.
Not just, especially with the centre backs that they basically had half the most of the defence out. So I don't.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't. There's no excuse for it. I don't see no excuse for that. That was just a horrible performance. I just want to. It's about time it goes. Especially
this is a tough run. This is a tough run. Arun's pointing out here.
Yeah, and it's true. And we shouldn't be slipping up. This should have been a 3-pointer. This should have been a 3-point bagger, and then so we don't need to go into.
We spoke on it. I put some money down on Liverpool smashing Spurs, and it wasn't good. The Spurs ruined my day again.
Yeah, because I knew when I remember I mentioned it last week when I know there's going to be some rotation. So,
what's up, Donnie Campbell? What's up?
Hey man, what you mean?
He identifies as a dinosaur. He's oil.
This is my oil money.
It's his oil hat.
This is what.
This is what happens when you're a Pep Guardiola fan.
I got on the black shirt to represent. We'll get to Pep not wearing the black shirt.
We'll get there.
This is what
Absolutely.
has done to this.
Yeah, man. No more Champions League nights in Manchester until next year. Unfortunately for some. You
know what? I'll go get there. I'll answer that.
There will be more at Anfield. Asif.
Yeah, it's going to be. I'm not fancy our chances against PSG. I think they come alive when it comes to knockout stages. I think they. I think we'll probably get knocked out the next round. I'm not gonna lie.
Is there any chance at all?
We've got a chance.
I'm saying I was going to ask you a different question. I think you definitely have a chance versus Paris. I'm saying, is there any chance at all? Say you get slapped 3-0 by Brighton. Is there any chance at all that over the break Slot's gone? Like realistically,
there should be
realistically, I know you want him to go. I'm like, realistically though, do you think that if you get smashed versus Brighton at the weekend, over the break they might bring Stevie G in?
It's a possibility. I'm not saying he would be. He is a possibility. I think I personally think, as you know my opinion. He should go, but I think the credit he's got in the bank for last season, I think it's nearly over. No, that credit's nearly gone. So I can see. Yeah, it's definitely waning. That's for sure. I think. But tonight helped. It should. Yeah, but even then, I think it's bread and butter in the league. So he should at least be getting in the Champions League spot. If he doesn't, he needs to go. It's as simple as that. No ifs or buts. I actually wouldn't have been surprised if they pulled the trigger after that Tottenham performance. It was dismal. I wanted him. That's it now, Jake. I mean, even after this performance with Galatasaray, great performance, but that was more to do with the players, not than with him. It was a mixture of Galatasaray not turning up and us playing well. So I'm actually not sure if the fifth spot is gone.
I thought it was the coefficient from the.
It's coefficients, yeah. So Aston Villa, we still have Aston Villa, Crystal Palace, and Nottingham Forest that are in the round of 16 of their competitions.
Right, and then you guys advance, so that's
we advance. But if they lose tomorrow, if they all play tomorrow, and if they all go out tomorrow, I'm not sure. I'm actually not sure. Forest are losing. Palace are level with Larnaca, and they're away. So are Forest away. But Aston Villa are at home versus Lille, and they have a 1-goal lead. So I think Villa might go through. I'm not sure about the others. I've never seen
even
the
then,
other two play.
it's a hard. It's not easy. Villa have gone off the boil a bit.
So Arun, you know what that means, don't you? You know what that means? You literally have to cheer for Liverpool and Arsenal in the Champions League. Arun, you have to cheer for your most favorite other teams in the league so that you might get a Champions League spot. You better hope you don't finish fifth, my friend.
I thought United was in third. Are they not in third? Or are you?
Yeah, but we're all hoping for a United collapse, of course. Why wouldn't we be?
Nah, man, you clearly see the juju is there. You just got to see the juju. I mean, seeing anything else would be a lie.
Yeah. The Prim teams did concede a lot, Arun, that's for sure. You guys, imagine if you were in there. You would have conceded a lot. Oh, yeah. Don't count those chickens, Arun.
Don't be counting because you got no European football to worry about.
Don't be counting any chickens.
I told you once you let United get in there that you can run the tape on this.
Yeah. They were talking on the terrace today, on the football terrace today, about the most annoying fan base, and it's Man United fans. Hey. He goes, there's nothing worse than a happy Man United fan. And I got to say, one of my best friends in the world is a Manchester United fan. And when they were on top, that's a little bit of the reason why I still kind of hate them. It's because of the ribbing we used to get. I understand it for sure. 1 game in 10 days, we got this. Yeah, and then it's like another game in another like 11 days or something. It's crazy. They play like twice in April.
That's why Casemiro.
Because like is that right? Does the international break? The international break is next weekend, right?
Yeah. So they play Monday, or they play Friday. Manchester United play Friday, right? And then they don't play again until whenever you play Chelsea and I play Bournemouth, whenever that is. Because they're not in the FA Cup, and then right after the FA Cup is a Champions League game, and then so it's like the weekend after the FA Cup weekend that they don't play for a while. That's for sure. We play 5 games in 2 months. Yeah, there you go. There it is, right there for sure. Anyway, I mean,
it is what it is.
What's it gonna take? Like, what's it actually gonna take? Like, if you beat Brighton, he's definitely not getting sacked. You know, so will it take a 10-1 like Bayern put on Atalanta for him to get sacked? If PSG just absolutely wiped the floor with you, or do you think they're really trying to get to the end of the season?
I think they're just trying to get to the end of the season, and then evaluate from there because they're still in the running. So I don't think that they want to touch anything now unless they have to. If that makes sense.
Yeah. But that week, right out of the international break, that week's huge because the first game is at the Etihad in the Cup, and then the next game is Paris. Did you? Yeah. So you'll go to Paris first since you finished ahead of them. Yeah. At least it's Anfield in the second leg.
That's the only. Yeah.
That's what Chelsea said.
Yeah. That's why I'm not. I'm not cutting anything. I thought Man City were going to beat Real Madrid especially with the injury list that Real Madrid had as well.
I did as well.
But yeah, Man City had something similar to us in regards to opposition, injury list, etc. Everyone thought we'd win, and
yeah, I hear that. So do you want to go ahead and take a look at the why don't we go ahead and tackle the Brighton game? What are you feeling about that? What are your thoughts on that?
Brighton, I think we should beat them if we actually turn up this time. Not too much rotation. I don't think we should have any rotation. and then going to the international break with with some momentum, and then we'll see how it goes from there. That's
someone in my chat in the stream today was saying, talking about how playing an actual right back like Frimpong or Gomez, for example, makes a world of difference because of the freedom that Szoboszlai gets.
Yeah, and the balance of the team. Remember,
even though Frimpong isn't, the world's gift to right backs.
But the guy's got pace. He can get.
He does got the pace. He is fast. He burned Lewis Skelly the last time we played. Fast.
He's just more injury prone. That's the only thing with him. I think defensively, he's better than Trent.
Yeah. So versus a team that is going to be open, they like to play out from the back. They like to give you opportunities. He'll make a difference
because how PSG have Hakimi.
Sure. Well, I was speaking on Brighton. They like to play it from the back almost to a fault. Do you think he'll start again?
Brighton, I think Brighton won't play too attacking. I think it'll be more counter-attack.
Yeah.
Attacking football.
It depends on your approach, right? If you show up like you did versus Spurs and don't try to win the game,
Exactly. We need to start with. Look, it's coming up to the end of the season now. This is where we need to pick up points. You don't go around playing for draws. You need to kill teams off.
Yeah. So especially when the Champions League's still there to play for as far as the positions.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So even Arsenal, have you seen like the urgency when like you guys are playing with if you're drawing and you want to get ahead, you can see that in your approach play.
I've been begging for that all season. That all season.
Even Man City though, you could tell even before they went down to 10 men, you could see the urgency in their play. There wasn't none of that because against Spurs.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. What do you think, Lewis, about Liverpool?
I mean, the funny thing is funny. Like speaking to Donnie, so Donnie, we have another group chat with my college boys and my boy Chris, who is a United fan, but he's like the most I guess somber one because like he knows they suck. He's just kind of there, but he'll talk trash, if they win, but he won't go like, oh, we're gonna win anything because he swears the Glazers are the reason that they're awful, which is a truth.
I agree.
It's the truth. And so he's realistic now. He understands, like initially it was like the history, but he's not a history FC guy. He understands what he sees. His stance is as long as Harry Maguire is on the team and Casemiro's on there, they're never going to beat anybody. I can't use his language on the air, but just know that's what he says. But
so he's a Casemiro fan, the best CDM of all time. He's a fan of the greatest central defensive midfielder to ever walk the earth.
He is not. But what I did see is, and we said this a little bit before we started. I mean, even though Liverpool looked bad, I don't even know if that's the right word, bad against Spurs. I feel like I'm underplaying that.
No. We were shit. Let's say it how it is. We were shit.
But they looked bad against Spurs. What I did recognize, and this is where it's on the player, and I think you asked this, Jake, about like who's supposed to step up. I think they recognized, the deficit was a realistic deficit that they could overcome. It was one goal. But then they went in and they went in, and they got 4 today. Is it right? 4? Yep. They got 4 today. That's not true. That's 1,000% false. So you're going to say he's better than Kusanov? Because I'm going to say no.
Kusanov's killing it.
And Gahey has been pretty good too. So yeah, I know he wants to throw shots, but I didn't say that. A United fan said that. And you stay where you belong, sir, under Man City for 10 plus years. I don't want to hear nothing from you. So anyways, the Liverpool showed up and they recognized they wanted to win. If that's for Slot or if that's for themselves, I don't know. But I think they played, and I think the thing that's important for them is that, Salah got on the score sheet. Wirtz looks like he's starting to find some form. And while they're not like a cohesive unit, that I'm not going into them Champions League wise, looking at them and saying, PSG will run them over, because you never really know what you're getting with PSG. Like, I really feel like you don't know what you're getting from them. So I think Liverpool have a chance, because games are not, unless it's tic-tac-toe, games are not played on paper. And so you have to specifically actually play on the field, because that those games are after the international break, right? They're like the week after or something like that? Or something like that, or 2 weeks after.
Which ones?
The Champions League games. They're like after because the international break.
I'm pretty sure after the international break, the first weekend is the cup games,
and so then it's 2 weeks. It has to be the week after that.
Yeah, and then I think the next game, is the Champions League quarterfinals on the 7th. Yeah.
So it's 2 weeks after that, which is that's a quick turnaround. And I think, the following things can play, and I'm not wishing it for anybody, because, there's international. Well, actually, the dinosaur is not dead, and I'm not dead, so we can't be extinct, because I'm pre-oil.
Pre-oil.
So, but I love it. I love it. So, but I look at that, and the thing about it is, just like, the World Baseball Classic, we do all sports here. Venezuela won in the World Baseball Classic, which, it's kind of poetic, right? But we're just going to leave that where it is, right? It's kind of poetic the way that happened.
I thought that was funny. I thought that was definitely funny.
It was absolutely cool. Even though the Venezuela team is literally all major league players, so it wasn't like they weren't major league players.
So it was like the Blue Jays were playing the Tampa Bay Rays or something.
Right, it was a regular game. But the point being is that international games lead to a lot of different things. I hope everybody, and I mean this for Donnie knows. He knows about Chris. So the international games lead to a lot of things. And these international games is super, super, super important, because these are the guys that are auditioning for because he has a meaty forehead. But the thing about it is
that's why they call him Slabbed.
Harry.
Again, but here's the funny thing about the Harry Maguire thing. Why are you coming at me? You got to talk to your fellow United fan. Jake, I didn't say that.
Jake, when you talk about international, I just wanted to point out, I think I was just reading an article the other day about some people were asking for the inclusion of Rio and Dowman in the England squad. There's not much you could do about it, Jake. If you get an England call up, there's not Arsenal couldn't block it.
They're doing too much. They're doing way too much.
That's way But anyway, real quick to the internationals, like, these guys are going to be playing hard because they're auditioning, which lends themselves to injuries, and so you got to really be careful about that. And so, if I'm an Arsenal guy and I know I'm going to the World Cup, I might be all of a sudden pull up a niggle in training before.
I hope so much.
The plane takes off. You know what I'm saying?
I need Declan Rice to stub his toe.
But that's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Like,
I think for the England national team, it would be good to give them at least half a game each or something like that.
If I'm those guys,
but look, like Saka and Rice, they don't need to see a single minute. They don't need to see. They're on the plane. They're on the plane. They're in the team. They're in the starting 11. They don't need to play. Tuchel doesn't need to see them. Okay.
At all. Like, they don't even need to know. If I'm Saka and I'm Rice, man.
Eze might play. Eze might still have to fight for a spot.
I pulled my shoulder string, my toe string. So I pulled something. And then it went away as soon as the plane took off. Because, hey, man, I'm just saying.
No, like, Victor Gyökeres is one of the biggest ones for me, because Sweden haven't qualified. They're in a real game. It's not like he's trying to make the team. They're in a real game. You know what I mean? And so it's.
But no. I'm just saying this is something that could happen.
But
with Darwin and Rio,
I think Liverpool played okay, but it matters what's after.
We might have our starting 11.
Yeah, so check this out. On Thursday, the 26th of March, Turkey, Romania, Czech Republic versus Ireland, Denmark versus North Macedonia, Italy, Northern Ireland, Poland, Albania, Slovakia, Kosovo, Ukraine, Sweden, Wales, and Bosnia. That's all competitive semifinal playoff matches. That's a lot of players.
Dude, but even outside of the competitive ones, like for example, like they talked about the Neymar thing, right? They're like, well, Neymar obviously didn't get the call up, but there's guys who hadn't gotten a call up that they're auditioning for a spot because there's a gap. So I'm going, straight 1,000% if I'm trying to make the team. So you got to start looking in your team, and it may not necessarily be your starters, but your depth may be affected if these guys go like,
oh, for sure.
And so you gotta look at that and just recognize that I get it, but I think that plays into the next series. But I think Liverpool will be fine. I think Arsenal will be fine. I mean, unless Sporting says, hey, you know what, we're world killers, because Bodo was taking down the Goliaths. So we gonna do Goliaths. Maybe they. I don't know.
No, you never know. You never know.
No, I definitely think it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough.
It's gonna be a tough game. I
If
think.
you get to the last state of the Champions League, you're no mugs. Say what?
And this is like a Jokeres homecoming kind of. Right?
Yeah, it's the Derby de la Jokeres.
Because it's not just that. It's just at home, Sporting are very good. I've seen them
as
play.
we saw.
Clearly they were.
As we saw, they put.
Not just against
the game. They put it on them.
I mean, against other teams, I watch them play at home.
They put it on them. It's quick passing. It's a lot of pace. It's a lot of power. Yeah, they put it on them, absolutely. But you know who else got it put on them? We've made it to the oil section of the evening, and I would like to start with Plaid. What in the world?
Talk about oil a bit too much today, guys. You have a president who loves his oil, so.
Do you want me to pull up the Dave Chappelle meme? Because I can. I can. Who talking about oil? What are we cooking? We cooking? What you talking about? Ain't nobody talking about no oil. Oil.
Oh my God. Imagine, yeah. But hey, I mean, first of all, why is he wearing a plaid shirt? Like, what? I can't fathom why he would wear the Tony Hawk Pro Skater 7 album cover shirt.
Dude, then he had like the red Will Smith Doc Martin boots on, man. I didn't know what he was doing, man.
I mean, is he just trolling people? Is he doing this just to make people ask random questions about this to take away from what's going on the field? Or, and then in the presser, did you see the post-match press conference?
No, I checked out after that. I didn't.
They asked him if he would be disappointed if he only won one Champions League at Man City, and he said, "Oh yeah, of course. If I don't win the Champions League every season, I'm a failure."
Well, that sounds like Pep. That feels
sarcasm.
like
it's sarcasm for sure, But he's also like, I mean.
But here, think about the standard that exists for them to say, "Hey, man, you only won one."
How much money have you spent on players?
They spent all the money. They've spent all the money on players. Clearly not spending it.
And wait.
Spending it on the flood Trafford to fix the roof. That's clearly what they're not spending it on.
Hey, man, there's managers sitting on the beach right now living their best life because, United is just paying them still. What are we talking about, man? Like, what?
Oh, I don't know that Real Madrid is that bad.
Here's the funny thing. Here's the thing. I recognize, because you know how I function. I can take the ribbon, but it's funny because at least I was there to get beat, right? So again, you just got to keep understanding. You know what? Hey, man, you were a terrible actor in that movie, and you was in the audience. Like, come on now. We got to make sure we understand our places, right? Until you back in the competition, then you need to talk about any loss in any competition you're not a part of, which is all the competitions except for one.
Hey, Arun, you like stats here. You were talking about Harry Maguire's stats. When City play Arsenal on Sunday, that will be both of our 50th game of the season.
Question, Arun, was Maguire you were talking about this really great player when he was playing Grimsby?
Grimsby. Big up Grimsby every single time. But yeah, Pep struggled in the tie, both matches really.
Well, what does that mean? When the club wasn't born,
when your club wasn't born, we won the trophy.
Now, why do people keep playing? See, now he going History FC. So you don't like the modern times, and then you want to go history, but people keep acting like City don't have history. Like, what are we talking about, man? Just
Man City was founded in 1880.
But anyway, let's focus on the Man City problem, right? Let's focus on the Man City problem. So let's own that. We'll own
Get
it.
over Grimsby. Why? I'm sure you guys haven't.
We're not going to let you live that down. You're not living that down. You know what you're also not living down? You gave a European trophy to Tottenham. You gave a European trophy to Tottenham. You bums.
We lost to Madrid, though.
Bums.
And when you're getting beat by bums.
See, the funny thing is I can talk about the money that was injected in there, but they don't want to talk about that because it would be politically incorrect for me to say that. So I'm not going to say about where the infusion came for them, right? Because I do recognize.
Yeah, be careful. You don't want to do any illicit payments like Chelsea.
But not even that. Let's go to the point that Alex Ferguson broke the transfer record how many times? Like, why are we pretending like these things don't happen? Stop it, man. Stop. We don't care about United right now. We gonna slag off City. Can we do it properly without United trying to step in?
I would love to slag off Pep. I love that shirt.
Stay where they are at home. Okay, so from that, City played. Yeah, I'm good with that. So City played well once we went down to 10 men. Bernardo was stupid for sticking his arm out. So I don't know if Jake knows me, Asif knows me. I'm not gonna dance around what it was. Now let's correct that, because after City went down 10 men, they actually played well. They played well after that. So let's not talk about how bad we were, because we actually played well. Haaland wasn't good. We're gonna own that. Like the goal he scored, it was funny because I was at the people at the event. I said, hey, that goal he scored looked just like Savinho's goal. Literally what I said. That's what I said. And everybody looked at me because they know how I feel about Savinho as a player. I don't know him as a person. I'm not going to ever talk about him as a person. But I said, he didn't know nothing about that. He didn't know nothing about that goal. So let's not pretend, right?
He swung a leg at it.
So there's that. But then we played well. The substitutions and the changes in the team were important because Pep, again, got the lineup wrong. He got the lineup wrong in the last game. He got the lineup wrong this one. But what he seems to get is when the substitutions were there, then all of a sudden the team starts to click. So to say that, they're clicking. We had a team that was winning. Remember when Lewis was saying, hey, man, that lineup with Haaland, Shirky, Doku, and Foden, they were clicking. And then guess what Pep did? He stopped playing them together. And then when Nico Gonzalez was playing wonderful, and then Nico O'Reilly started playing better, and Rodri came back, they said, nope, Nico can't play anymore. And they stuck Rodri in the game. And then Nico came in and played well, and they said, nope, we're not playing him. And you heard me say, Rodri by himself on the island is not Rodri anymore. I've said this before he came back. I've been staunch about, hey, he can't do that alone. Let him play the 8, go back and forth, let Nico protect him. Pep has not played him there. And then Pep went to Pep press conference and said, well, they can't play together. Dude, you're getting killed there because we can't possess the ball, so you're just going to let him be there and assume. And then he's getting stupid fouls and doing stupid things because in his brain he's Rodri, but in his body he is not. So you have to understand that Pep is getting the lineups wrong. Period. He's getting the lineups wrong. And so to say the team doesn't click is incorrect because the City supporters go to Man City's Twitter, Instagram, whatever. The players, even though we don't know more than Pep in football, right now we see what chemistry is, and he keeps choosing the lineups that don't do well. This is a silly thing because to think, one, that City's not going to hire a quality manager that follows is crazy. Two, to think that the talent that's on the team is just going to all of a sudden forget how to play football is absolutely lost. This is not Man United. Man United does that stuff. Well, when they lose their manager and they all of a sudden don't know how to play ball. And then the
thing about that is it's coming regardless. Like he's never going to be there forever.
The players know, and he's young, so they're preparing for that. So again, he keeps wanting to interject Man United's failures. We are not you. You go beat history and fail on your own. You're at home. Stay there. Okay, you broke the transfer record of Harry Maguire, right? The greatest center back in the world, and we paid a lot for one. And guess what ours did? Won a Champions League. Stop it! Like this, we can go buy for buy. We got some bad ones in there, but if you look at buy for buy, what those people accomplished. Hey, let's go with Calvin Phillips. But you know what? Calvin Phillips was a budding star. We got rid of him when he wasn't doing it anymore, right? So
hey, watch out. I'm the worst ones. I'm the worst at buying stuff.
I've got a suggestion for you, Aaron. Why don't you just bring back Amorim?
Yeah, there you go.
Because he's on the beach getting paid still because they spend money. See? But anyway, we're not talking about them no more. Anyway. So the lineups were bad. And Pep missed it with the lineups, but his subs are better. Now, remember, one of the criticisms we had for Pep was his sub. But he's subbing well. He didn't sub Savigno. Did he sub Savigno on? I didn't. Okay. So there you go. So whatever. Hey, man, that means, wait a minute, that means that the contract don't say it. And so that means Pep was doing this on purpose, which means he was intentionally sabotaging the team, which goes with he is facing early onset insanity because what was the shirt and the pants and the shoes and no Savigno? Because if Savigno played, then it would have made sense. All of it would have made sense, but he didn't do that. And so my question is, who talking about oil? Oil? What?
I was surprised you didn't play. Yeah, you didn't play your best winger.
So I have so many questions. So many ways to just pick at the rotting corpse of that performance. But why does he stick with the way that Semenyo inverts?
He can't play in the middle as a winger.
What?
Like, again, what is he doing?
What is that?
It's terrible.
I don't understand
on the right side, there's no one there, so when Nunez goes forward, there's nothing in front of him.
We actually tried something similar versus Leverkusen where Trossard was coming very narrow, but it was from the other side. It was from the left side instead of the right side. And for us, what it was meant to do was cause an overload because, as you know, when Ben White's in the team like he was yesterday, we loved just right side, all down the right side. It's Saka. It's like our whole attack, right? And so I don't really see Semenyo like providing that overload on the left-hand side because sometimes it's Marmoush or sometimes it's Doku or sometimes it's – but it's like they're not really connecting and gelling in there. I don't know. It's just not kind of coming off the way it did for us.
What's the troubling part is that Doku did do that from the other side and Savigno would hold the line. But now they're doing it the other way. I mean, if you're going to do it, at least do it with the guy who did it right. Like, it doesn't make any sense because remember, City did this exact same thing. Savigno held the line on the right side. Doku came in on the left, and then you had O'Reilly who was coming up the wing. But Nunez doesn't do that. So it's not something we haven't done. It's just you're doing with personnel that doesn't do it. So it's the issue is that I don't know what he's doing. And the funny thing is, for example, when we started the game, Cherky wasn't in there, and you're sitting here, well, we don't have any creative players. And soon as Cherky comes on, he's creating space, he's sending balls. And what's interesting is Pep said in a press conference, not this game, but the one before, where he said, if I play Haaland and Cherky together, then we have troubles. But you don't have troubles because if you play Nico and Rodri together, and heaven forbid leave Bernardo on the bench, you don't have that problem anymore. So it's a preference thing. And if that's his preference, I can't do anything. So, again, the point about the team not being good, the team is not being good because the lineups he's putting doesn't match the chemistry of the talent. And so the style of play doesn't match because everyone, ask a City fans, I promise you, this is what they'll say the best lineup we have. Gahey and Kusanov together in the middle with Aït-Nouri and, Nunez on the right. So that's your back four. And then in front of him, you play Nico Gonzalez. And in front of him, you play Nico O'Reilly, right? And then you play Cherky, right? And then you play Doku, Semenyo, and Haaland. That's the best 11, and he will not play that team. So to say we're not playing well is because you're not putting the team that's best together. And it's because you're holding on to the old people that don't create because Pep doesn't like to play open. So the point about, when Pep leaves, so-and-so. But here's the funny thing. Pep has so much clout that no one in the locker room will challenge. I think I texted this to you all yesterday. No one in the locker room will challenge him. So if a new manager comes in and that 11 says, hey, we want to play together, this is the lineup, we don't have that problem because we play open, free-flowing football. And you all know that. I'm not making this up. You know what it is. But soon as, and I'm not blaming Kevin, but when De Bruyne left, he was the only guy who ever challenged Pep. You saw it on the sideline. You saw it on the field. Soon as he left, you notice nobody else challenged him anymore because Bernardo doesn't challenge him. Rodri doesn't challenge him. So there's no players on the pitch that's challenging the manager. Cherky can't do it because Cherky gets sat down. So what is he supposed to do? He can't do it. Rodri is going to play the system because the system is for him to just hold the ball and bounce the ball and ping pong. Ruben is not going to do it. Erlen is not going to do it. So who is going to challenge Pep Guardiola? And I'm being honest about it. There's no player with enough clout or skill that can drag the team that can challenge him. So because there's no player to do that, you're not going to see that. So the part of what are we going to do when Pep leaves? The team is going to start playing the way they want to naturally play. Now, will we be as intimidating without the Pep aura? Probably no, unless the next manager is he serious talking about this challenge and talk? Like, so he's never played. You've never played a sport then. You've never played a sport.
I don't know if he understands what you're saying.
You understand, correct?
Yeah. You have to. If Pep is continually making decisions that are clearly losing you games, someone has to say something to him. Hey, we don't want to play this way anymore. Why don't we try this? And maybe what you're saying is in this team, no one has the balls to just be like, look, Pep, this sucks.
They don't have the clout to do it. I'm gonna tell you why it's simple. So imagine if Kevin De Bruyne was on the team and Kevin said, hey, Pep won't do that. You think he's gonna sit him? He's sitting him? The answer is no. If Ruben does it, guess what? If Ruben does it, you can sit him down.
Yeah.
Guess what? If Bernardo does it, you can sit him down.
Yeah.
The only person who actually has the clout to do it is Haaland, and Haaland's been in such poor form. He's been in such poor form that he couldn't do it because he's not scoring. Now, if this was Haaland banging in goals, Haaland could be like, Coach, what are we doing, man?
Yeah. I'm literally carrying the team. And for a while he was. I feel a while he was carrying.
But then Pep could say to him, but you're scoring goals, so what are you talking about? This is even more of a time for him to do that. If this is supposed to be his team. Because the thing about it is we're acting like that players don't run teams. Like this is not Chelsea, but players have clout in a team. You're telling me Virgil don't have clout like that in Liverpool? Because I'm telling you he does. He's not sitting Virgil down. I'm telling you right now, Declan Rice is not getting sat down in Arsenal. So what are we talking about?
Yeah, I hear you.
And that's not his point about he can't be sat down is not true because we literally have evidence of Kevin De Bruyne doing it. We have video evidence behind the scenes when he did it. We have evidence on the field.
Yeah, we saw that one. Yeah.
I agree with Charles.
We saw that one. Yeah. What's up, Charles? Thanks for being here every time. It is an interesting point.
And he's and it's true when he reverts back to
but it didn't happen versus Spurs, Charles. I don't know what the hell that was. But as far as challenging Pep, I definitely as far as challenging Pep, I mean, I agree that there's no one there to do it. And I also agree that it used to happen.
Yep.
And I don't know how you get back to where somebody will do that.
Right. I'm not making it up. The only way you can do that is a new manager. That's it. And I'm not asking for him to leave. I'm not saying Pep out. I'm not one of those guys. But I'm understanding that in football, if no one challenges you in any kind of management, if you've been successful and no one ever challenges you, what happens? Let's use Carlo Ancelotti for Real Madrid.
I told you looked like Gunnersaurus. I told you. Charles is an Arsenal fan.
Charles, first of all, sir, I am pre-oil money. So, Again, I don't understand why your mascot's a dinosaur. But anyway,
no one does. No one does.
But
I can't explain it, man. Your guess is as good as mine. Maybe Charles knows.
Okay, Arun, it sounds crazy too. He said Pep made it what it is today. Is that so? So when Mancini won, when Pellegrini won, well, I mean, like it wasn't like we wasn't doing stuff. Like, well, hey man,
yeah, but as far as what you're talking about, as far as being in management, like if I'm like building a team, like to run a Harris Teeter or whatever, all of the responsibility is on you if no one ever challenged you. And that means you take all the shit when shit hits the fan because it's all on you. And I don't know that Pep has ever had to maybe do it all by himself. He's always had huge personalities because I'm sure Messi would have had the balls to be like, yo.
Let's go to Bayern. At Bayern, were there not guys there? Come on, man. And then so let's use the Premier League. Let's use your team. So in the Premier League, you telling me Henry wasn't stepping up to Arsene? Because I'm telling you he was. Yeah. And you're telling me, let's go to United since United has the biggest mouth. So you're telling me there's not guys in United, Mr. Keane, that wouldn't come to Alex Ferguson. And come on, man. Like, stop it.
It's, yeah.
Is that
for real, Charles?
Is that what it is?
Yeah, it is. He's like,
wow.
I didn't.
Is that what you were about to say? Is that what you were about to say, Steve?
Yeah. That's basically what I was going to say. Yeah, remember we were talking about it was someone else's mascot. He was a pie, and then
pie.
Yeah, pie. Who was it? I can't remember. Me and
I think it was Portsmouth.
Yeah, Portsmouth. It was me and
pie.
Yeah, I think so.
Because it was an FA Cup game. We were there, and Gunnar Soros was shooting a penalty shootout with a pie.
Yeah. So, and he was like, "Oh, what the fuck is a pie about?"
What the hell is that?
And it was basically because of a kid won a competition.
Kid won the painting competition. That's cool. I mean, that's cool. Sure, why not? Whatever,
I get Arun's point. Like, I'm not saying Arun is wrong in what he's saying on I get that, but every great manager has been challenged, and I literally just gave you examples. Like, if you're not being once you ascend here, if you start, I'm gonna give you an example. Jake, you probably can co-sign me on this. When Arsene Wenger was he was Mr. Top 4 at this point. He wasn't winning leagues, but he was guaranteed you guys were getting in the Champions League. Did you have any guys challenging him? And I'm gonna probably go with a no, because you didn't have personalities to challenge Arsene for what he was doing.
But on the other hand as well, the great managers challenge themselves, like Ferguson.
Yeah, but I hear you.
Even Pep's done it. Even Pep's done it.
But then this is different because, like,
first game, he then compared to how he's playing now, and when he put centre backs as his wing backs, etc., he changes.
What if he just does something similar? What if he just reinvents it again and goes again?
Yeah,
but there's every chance that he does that, just as much a chance as that he leaves.
But here's the thing, that in life, there's a balance of, you know what, when my ideas are stale, like, think about it. We can look at the lineups and see he got the last 3 lineups wrong. That's a management issue. So nobody's gonna say anything about that.
Slot got his lineup wrong.
Are we comparing Slot and Pep? Is that what we're doing right now?
No. I'm just saying.
Because if we are, then that's even louder.
Any manager can do it. That's what I'm saying.
No, but come on, man. And games that matter in a different magnitude, man. And respectfully, like, you guys are still in the Champions League, but like, you shouldn't have lost to Spurs. Spurs is not your bogey. Oh, you didn't lose. You drew the Spurs. The Spurs is not your bogey team like City. That's different. City literally were playing games that hey, if you drop points here, X happens. If you lose this, X happens. Right? If you drew the Spurs, nothing was going to happen to you except embarrassment. That's it.
Champions League spot, mate.
But still, like, realistically, but think about it. Table-wise, nothing was going to happen to you like that. Let's be pragmatic about that. So
Chelsea lost to Newcastle in the same weekend. Only United got ahead of you. Villa lost too. It didn't really cost you 2 points.
And so, the thing about it is that, yes, but the thing is, how can you have the right to challenge? See, this is the thing that people have to stop. Because I'm going to stand this right here as a human, right? I can stand and say Pep knows more about football than all of us. But here's the funny thing about that. A child can walk in and find the simplest answer that scientists took forever to try to figure out. Let's be humble and understand that there's things you can miss. And the second you as an individual human believe that you see everything is the second that you see nothing anymore. And you got to own that. Okay, I'm one of the greatest managers ever. And the way I continue to ascend is either I continue to listen and evolve and recognize where I've made mistakes, or I go into the obscurity where, let's just use, again, Man United. The way Alex Ferguson left that team is his fault. And anybody who says anything different is lying, because he did that to them. Now, the management behind him could have did a better job, but Alex Ferguson knew what was happening. So let's not pretend like that's not on him. That doesn't sully his legacy of what he did when he was a manager. You know what? I guess I'm talking over people's heads because people don't understand human. I'm talking about human. First of all, and Jake, I think I've said this to you. See if I know I've said this to you too. There's no such thing as a GOAT. Stop it. Stop it right now. There's no such thing. Stop it. Records are made to be broken, and there's always going to be a better human than the previous one. So stop it. And if that's what you think, then you are. That's what you think. I'm not going to say you're right or wrong, but you are a dinosaur. If you think there's a level of human that in the past is better than humans now, stop it. Just stop it, man. And the thing
I think it's a good point that everyone's day in the sun or 15 minutes of fame, or pick your analogy, everyone wanes. And there will come a time when Pep is no longer at the top of his game. And just because he's had a couple of rough seasons, and we can definitely say they haven't been anywhere near his best.
Right.
Who's to say, like I said, who's to say that he won't be able to redo it? He won't be able to, maybe, because you're going to have an upheaval this season.
And who's to say we can't criticize him?
Contracts are ending, and when you build a team, no matter what that team is trying to accomplish, the sum is always bigger than the parts, whatever that phrase is, So why would I assume that I'm the best at doing whatever we're trying to accomplish as a team, and that you guys just need to listen to me and can't contribute anything more than I can imagine you doing? You probably have better ideas because you have far different experiences. And so when a team works together like that, even if the leader of that team is God status or whatever, I'm the greatest whatever in this field, you still have to listen to people who just have a different experience. And in this team, I think there's a little bit of what Arun is saying. I think maybe some of the players are in the camp that Arun is coming from. Maybe they believe what Arun's saying about maybe we can't say nothing to Pep.
Well, I'm going to say this. They have the right to have their opinion, so they can disagree with me up and down. I'm not saying they're right or wrong. I'm saying that my perspective that I hold is, one, if any human, it must be a language thing, because there's no greatest of all time. I'm going to tell you why there's no greatest of all time. Did time end yet? Did time end? It didn't end, right? So if it didn't end, so you're saying that if he's the greatest of all time, there's no other managers that will come behind that'll ever pass that. If you think that the next generation can't be better, then why are we even doing it? Why are we even doing this? Why? I mean, I'm sorry that I'm going philosophical on people, but I mean, come on, man, we got to be better than that. Like, I've always thought the GOAT conversation is stupid anyways. And here's the funny thing. And I'm going to blame our generation for this, because this dumb conversation came up in our generation. It came from us, where people are talking about GOATs, which is stupid. It's absolutely stupid. Like, what are we talking about? Because context matters in history. So the league has changed. And so now, because the league has changed and the circumstances have changed, now we're taking a different standard and saying that person's the greatest. Here's the thing, Jake, Arsenal was the only team in the Premier League to ever go undefeated. That is an amazing stat that it's unlikely to be matched in history. It's very unlikely to be matched in history. But is that Arsenal team considered the greatest team of all time? And I'm not disrespecting. I'm just asking a general question. My answer would be no. But what they did is historic. You can own the two things. City's team got 100 points, and no other team has ever gotten 100 points. Do I think a team could pass that? Yes, I think so. Is it going to happen soon, or is it likely? Probably not. Was that City team the greatest team ever? No. Do you see how I'm able to compartmentalize?
Here's a great example. Here's a great example for you, Nez. If I win a quad this season, and then I try to say, I won a quad, I'm the greatest English team there's ever been, people are going to be like, this was the worst Premier League season ever. You guys are the worst champions there's ever been. This team would have beat you. This champion would have beat you. This champion would have beat you. This champion would have beat you. But no one has ever done a quad ever. So if I do that, but I'm still not the greatest of all time.
Right.
Because somebody might come and win back-to-back quads.
Can I just interject here?
Go ahead.
When they say, I just don't like the definition greatest of all time. I would say greatest of a generation.
Era. Generation era, yes.
Yeah. Then you can compare them. You can compare. You never know. Could someone come along and that's even better than, say, Messi? Maybe it's as in how science.
Max Dallman.
But think about it. Here's the funny thing.
You can't really, but I would say more of along the lines of greatest of a generation, and that's how I would.
But then, to your point, greatest is a singular thing, right? How you have goats plural? Stop it. Stop. Like, you prove my point. You can't have multiple greatest. Greatest is a singular position. You can't have goats. What are you talking? This ain't no damn farm. What are you talking about? Like, stop it, man. You can't have multiple. So remember, if they use tennis, let's use tennis. So in tennis, at one time, you could say what McEnroe or a British tennis player was the greatest, right? The best of their generation based on what was there. And then somebody came and destroyed it because you got Joker who came through, absolutely amazing tennis player, Federer. And then think about those guys existed at the same time. Who's the greatest? And then what they're going to use is they're going to use a metric that's crazy, right? Why you got to do that, man? Why you got to do that, man? Why you got to do that? Why you got to do that? I hear you, Arun, and I'm going to answer this question. Do I think no other player will be born like him? No, I do not. And if they are born again, please don't come to the blue side of Manchester. Go to the red side.
There's no one like him. There's Savinho, one of a kind.
Just to undermine your own point, you can't have goats plural. You can't. And if it's to be challenged, then you don't have one.
Yeah, right? I agree with the eras thing. Like, take a look at Michael
Eras
Jordan.
Are good. Yeah.
Michael Jordan was the greatest, but now maybe Kobe's the greatest, or now maybe LeBron's the greatest.
No, it's like in tennis.
Whatever.
For example, tennis, you had Sampras before that, and then you had Federer, and then you had.
That man went back to Portugal and was a beast, or he went to Spain, wherever he went. He went to Spain.
He's at Betis,
and he's a beast. So don't do that. Yeah. Anthony's better than. I can't believe I said that out my mouth, man. Anthony is better than Savinho. You think about how that sounds in your ears.
Hey, Savinho cooked in Germany, Spain as well at Girona.
Yeah, he was one of their best player in Girona at one point.
On that note, segues are weird. The Arsenal finally put in a very, very strong performance, improving on the performance that I thought was pretty good versus Everton as well. And I thought that when I look at the tie as a whole, for me, it kind of feels like now that I saw the tactical tweaks that we made, like I mentioned, Trossard, and he did that a lot. Like he came very narrow and was aiding in the buildup a lot. And so it was a clear tactic that was in response to the fact that we didn't take on the outside backs. We didn't take on the wing backs versus Leverkusen in the first match at all. And the way we switched it up in this one, we did. It allowed us to really get at Grimaldo on the left-hand side. Let's see, what did I miss? Cricket, GOAT conversation is justified. Farm, nice one. It's just a duo. Klopp is really, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Pele, Maradona.
The most informed team in the league. That
you can't have S's.
No S's.
Greatest
no
of
plurals.
all time.
No plurality there. But yeah, I thought that it was over the 180 minutes. You could definitely see that Arteta was very, very content with studying the tactics in the first game, with making sure we were still in the game when we got back to London. And honestly, that's probably what you're going to see versus Sporting. And that's probably what you're going to see in the next time when we go to wherever. There's going to be a kind of just don't get scored on in the first leg is going to be the approach. And then we're going to really go at them at home in the second leg, in second legs, because Arteta just believes that we're not going to lose at home.
I think Arteta and the way he plays, I'm not saying he's not a league manager. I'm just saying he thrives more in knockout stages in cup game. I think.
Well, there's more space, right?
Yeah, and yeah, if just the way they play, and yeah, so I do think it does suit him coming down the home stretch when he comes to.
Yeah, I think
but
so.
That's just my opinion. And in regards to Arsenal Everton, you guys were right. I did mention it in our group chat. We mentioned Dauman. I don't know if he was on there.
Hey, I'm proud of him scoring his goal, man. You know, that's a
podcast,
great way to come on. Youngest player. He's the youngest player to score, right?
Yeah.
The youngest in Premier League history.
I did ask you and Anton about him, and I think he was after the podcast last week, and you were like, no, it's better to be managed in-house. And
yeah.
It looks like
I don't want him loaned. No, definitely not.
And
hey, just a random aside, Messi just scored his 900th goal.
Really?
Yeah, just scored his 900th. Go ahead, Asif, my bad.
No, it's fine. And Eze, I think he's improving a lot. He's I know he got a lot of criticism, but he's risen to the challenge. I think he'll play better the more he gets used to playing with the other Arsenal players in the team.
I agree.
He's got a longer run in the team.
Yeah, he's a different sort of player to Odegaard. And Odegaard likes staying back, pinging balls in between, while he's more of a like a quarterback sort of player, but Eze is more of a run at you sort of direct player. So it's good to have options, and I do think he's one to watch, especially coming down the straight. Someone who's fresh as well, who hasn't been used as much over the course of the season. I think that might be a bit of a plus sign for you as well. Your defense obviously that's probably your greatest strength. But yes, this is more of I think Arsenal as a whole, they're more of a team unit. I know there's no. Everyone used to talk about Saka and saying he was the star for the past couple of seasons, but you don't really, apart from maybe Rice and you're back to your centre backs. I don't really see anyone standing out as in goal scoring wise, or for example, last season we had Salah, who was more
banging him
more than anyone
on
else.
Another level.
Yeah, I don't see that in the Arsenal team apart from your back two and maybe Rice.
Well, the funny thing is, to Asif's point, is while that exists, if you think about the Chelsea team that only allowed 15 goals, and I'm talking about on the other side. I mean, obviously Drogba was there, but I mean, Drogba didn't score like buckets. I mean, the aura of Drogba is huge, but he wasn't scoring buckets of goals. You know what I'm saying? I think it's about like just winning, and if they're doing what's, and we've all said this, but I agree with Asif's point. But I'm just saying, you know, on the other side, I mean, it's about getting it done efficiently. We don't care if it's pretty. we do not care if it's pretty, man. We just
exactly. This is the thing, and I keep. This is few. I've talked about this saying in the.
Oh, Charles, we're getting there.
Yeah,
we'll get to this, Charles. We're not going to leave this out. We'll hit it at the end.
We're getting it.
Attacks win games, but defenses win leagues. So, and I keep saying that. So that's my philosophy on that.
And can I just add one point? Because Charles said something that I thought was blasphemy when I saw it. And I was like, hold on. So I looked it up. Because he said they come in pairs. And I was ignoring all that other stuff because I know who Brian Clough is and all that stuff. But then he said Federer and Nadal, which I was fine with. Now I watched it. I'm not good at tennis, but I paid attention to tennis. And then she said Serena Sharapova. Pause. No, we're not going to do that. We're not going to allow that writing to be wrong. Because I had to make sure I knew I wasn't crazy. Serena leads Maria Sharapova 20-2. Don't put them in the same sentence. Then we're going to go to career Grand Slams. Serena has 23 Grand Slams to Sharapova's 5. Don't put them in the same sentence ever again. Don't do that. Don't do it. Just head to head. Head to head. Serena's 20-2, and Serena won the last 19 matches against her. Don't ever do that again. We're not going to let that tennis blasphemy go in there. No. And again, the S's. Now, if we compare the two, then
that one's on you, man. I have.
Yeah, I watched. I know. Hey, man, I love me some Wimbledon. I love the U.S. Open. This Queens, you know, it's by that stadium.
I've been to a tennis match. I really enjoyed that, but I never followed it.
Yeah, man. But I'm fine with the other ones. But as soon as he said Serena and Sharapova, don't do that. Not Serena and Sharapova.
I honestly think that a lot of people are at least 6 to. Yeah, I agree with this point as well. But anyway, I think that a lot of people are saying that we didn't really play well against Everton, and I thought we did. I think a lot of times when we analyze the games, it's very one-sided, and we forget that Everton played really well. Everton were very, very effective in their game plan, and I think that I always felt like it was coming. I always felt like it was coming in that game.
And I think Anton had a good point last week about the way Everton play with the physicality would suit you guys, and it did. Looking at the game when I was watching it, I think because of the physicality in the Arsenal team, I think that suited you. And I do think styles make matches as well, and I think that really suited you in terms of in comparison to say a counter-attacking team. That sometimes that I've seen that Arsenal do have an issue sometimes with counter-attacking teams. Compared to more physical teams. So I'm not saying all the time. Sometimes Arteta works at it and he figures a way out of it, for example. But on more occasions you've had more issues in this season with counter-attacking teams. For example, Man United as well.
I agree. That's how Villa beat us too. Villa was really good with winning the ball up high, with pressing us. Onana was pretty good as well, and that's and that's how we struggled against them as well. I agree that we're most vulnerable when we're running towards our own goal. I agree with that 100%. But conversely, I think we are at our best when we win the ball high up the pitch and the other team isn't set. Too often in the first game versus Leverkusen, we just let them get set, But in the second game, in the second leg, we didn't. We didn't at all. I thought that we definitely had, a lot of attacking impetus versus Everton. Really, really gave it a go. And I think that eventually, I thought they were going to, eventually concede. And maybe it took a mistake from Pickford to get Gyökeres there with the tap in, for us to have the situation where Max Dowman can, run the length of the pitch by himself. But I think that obviously on Max Dowman, for me, the most impressive thing is the composure. Just to be able to come into a moment in a game where we need it, and to play with that kind of freedom, And I think that as far as the Champions League, is concerned, we built on that performance versus Everton. And yes, it was very important to get the win. And then one thing I do want to say to your point, Asif, about, the Champions League and as well as the Everton game, our defenders, man, they're just ready. Like I was saying in that pod last week, that somebody needs to go into the Tottenham dressing room and talking about, you guys need to die for this shirt. Dude, the kick, the like worm save. It's like he's doing the worm Calafiori versus Dwight McNeil. What was that, man? It's like a donkey kick. And he meant it too. He wasn't just flailing a leg, because he throws his leg up and slams it back down as the shot comes in, and the ball goes almost back to half field the way he's blocked it. And then Gabriel getting down with the neck block. They're throwing it all on the line. Hincapié throwing it on the line in the Leverkusen game, man. They definitely put it on the line. And David Raya as well, man. What a save in the 90th minute, where we're kind of sitting back a little bit, up 2-0, still locked in, man. And I can't say enough about just like how strong Saliba's been, how much of a leader, and the intensity you get from Gabriel all game long. I couldn't be happier, man. And then Declan Rice, dude. What do you say? Well, what I've said a lot on this channel already, of course, in my match reactions and stuff, and on Fire Them Cannons as well. Make sure you're locked in over there. But Declan Rice is, at the moment, for me, he's the best one around. He's the best one doing it. As far as a complete midfielder, and I hear the Bruno Fernandes chat because he's been very good. He's been fantastic this season. Absolutely has been.
He has been.
But that's a Champions League quarterfinal that, once again, 2 seasons running, Declan Rice has come up trumps and said, yeah, we're winning. I'm winning this game today. Wins the ball up high, 1 touchdown. If you go back and look at the still, right as he's about to shoot, there's about 8 Leverkusen players around him. He's like, and that's why he had to curl it around the defender in front of him. And it's pinpoint, kisses the bar on the way in. Goalkeeper doesn't even move. This guy, man. And I know my thoughts on Ballon d'Or or whatever, but he's definitely got a shout. We're not going to go into how dumb the Ballon d'Or is, but I definitely think he's up there because he's having a phenomenal season. I missed the rants on YouTube. What has Mikel Arteta done? It's all praise. Next wave. Once bitten, twice shy. We're careful. Nice. Yeah. That's funny. But yeah, I think that, we're getting into the groove at the right time. I thought that if you go back and look at our last few games, we played well versus Tottenham, of course. Since we've drawn with Wolves, we played well versus Tottenham, of course. Played well in the first half versus Chelsea, and not so much in the second. And then we went through a rough period where we still didn't lose. But then there was a performance versus Everton, and then Eze pops up with an absolute hyper beam. Dragonite hyper beam, dude. What a goal that is from Eberechi Eze, man. What a goal. And you can see our comfort level is there. The performances in the last 2 games, we're gelling, and we're coming together at the right time. Gyökeres, dude, Victor Gyökeres. Everything but the goal versus Leverkusen. If Rice hadn't have scored and we'd have won 1-0, I probably still would have given the man of the match to Gyökeres, even over Eze, who was fantastic. But Eze's looking comfortable. Gyökeres is looking comfortable. They're all playing really well. Even Trossard came in and played well after everyone on the left wing has been terrible for a while, for a few games. He's come in and had a great performance. And, you know, at the end of the day, you got to give it to Arteta. You just got to hold your hand up and say, no, maybe he's not doing it the way everybody wants him to. No, he's not playing Wenger ball, free-flowing, let's pass it into the goal after 900 passes. You know, let's walk it. And he's not doing what we used to do, because what we used to do didn't work. Go figure that. And so now he's doing something new, and we have the. I mean, I said it in my match reaction. We just simply have the best defense around. It just is what it is, and those guys are putting it on the line every single time. Declan Rice covering in front of him. Zubamendi probably won't get much praise, but that was one of his better performances. You know, we all came together in the Champions League game, and I thought we played very well, and I was so happy to see that. You know, and bring on Sporting. Absolutely. I think they're going to be tough, but I think we definitely got something for him. I think Gyökeres in his old stomping ground has something for him, so I think it'll be a fun time. But yeah, man, we're flying high right now. I'm feeling great, as I should. You know, I mean, there's no reason not to. I'm enjoying every second of it, you know. And
It'll be interesting to see
the quad
if
is on.
actually celebrates if he scores.
Say what? Oh yeah. I'm sure he will. Do you remember the circumstances with how he left?
Yeah, but
he went on strike too. He pulled an Isak. He did the same stuff, the same thing.
No, I know that, but it's even with the fans. That was with the club management. That wasn't with the fans. So I know a lot.
Yeah.
So
we'll see. We'll see when he gets the hat trick. We'll see when he dunks on him, for sure. But yeah, man, I couldn't be happier with how things are going right now. Of course, it was a great weekend as well, with City dropping points. Of course, going 9 points clear, and so yeah, we're full of confidence. I think everything this week has gone our way, and including Man City's results, leading up to. Once again, like I said, segues are weird. It's Wembley on Sunday. First chance at a trophy this season for both Man City and Arsenal. And like I said, we're coming into it flying high. We're absolutely feeling confident. And honestly, Lewis, I know we've talked about how this one would probably have a significant psychological impact on the season. I think with how results have gone, honestly, I think you guys could beat us and it wouldn't really faze us. I think we still go on to win the league. I think we still go on to compete in the FA Cup and the Champions League, even if you beat us. So I think the pressure might be the pressure of having to have like a huge, amazing performance and like an amazing day. I don't think we have to have it for us to go on to success in this season. How are you feeling? How are you feeling ahead of this one?
I think just based on what I've seen, I think the expectations just based on City's form and just the recent results in Arsenal's form, that Arsenal is, if I don't know how the betting things go, but Arsenal's very likely the favorite just based on what I've seen, but I would assume they are.
Yeah.
I do think if City win, I think it will have a psychological effect, but I don't think it'll be the same knock-on effect as it would have had if the results weren't what they were leading up to this. In addition to that, I think that the thing is that in the past, your path hasn't been as clear as it is now. Like, I think you can see yourselves playing Sporting and getting the results you need. You feel confident you can get you can hold serve at their place and get a 1-0 at home. And I think because you feel confident, you're like, hey, the Champions League is real to us, because then your real challenge is very likely going to come from there, where it is either Barcelona, very likely Barcelona, but possibly Atleti, right? And so you're like, okay, our first challenge is once everything else is out of the way, right? Like, because you can see that, like, once our first challenge is everything is kind of out of the way. And so then, I mean, the league is doing what you need to do, because realistically, and I said this to some City supporters, I said, here's the issue with what happened in Pep doing what he's doing. Because again, Pep is one of the best to ever do it, of a generation, one of the best. City could beat Arsenal in this cup final, and we could beat you in the game. it still doesn't change the trajectory. This is the first time that you can really say that City could beat y'all. We could beat you, have a game in hand. We still would be 6 points back and would have to play perfect. That means the pressure, and I'm being honest about this, the pressure is all on City in the league to do that. So Arsenal is sort of playing with house money on this. So if they lose, I don't think it would be catastrophic because the quad, realistically, and I'm saying this respectfully, is not really a thing. You know, it's a thing, but it's not really a thing, right? So if you guys get a treble, would you be hurt that you didn't get a quad? No. You wouldn't feel anything. You wouldn't feel anything. And I think that's where we are, where I'm not going to disrespect the cup, but it's almost like a throwaway cup. Because I think, in a sense, yes, for you all to win, it would be good to feel that. But then you have to think about it psychologically, because I'm being honest about this too, is the other side, if Arsenal wins, does that have an effect on, okay, we got it, and does that create pressure to win more things? Because I still think the path is there, but it's different because this is the first step of, okay, now we're like the mantra is every game is a final. It's not a mantra anymore. This is a final now.
This is a final.
This is a final now, and it's very different. And I think if Arsenal shows up, plays well, and loses, they'll be fine. I think they'll be absolutely fine going forward. Now I'm saying this because obviously we play with all the scenarios. If they show up and suck, you might have a problem. But I don't think they will. But if you show up and suck, I think there'll be a huge issue. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think your form has been fine enough where I think you'll play well enough. But the biggest thing, and I said this to some supporters as well, I said, the biggest thing about this game is that all the Arsenal City games in the past, ties were in play. There is no tie in this game. Somebody has to win. And you can't play for a draw. You can't play just we're just trying. You have to play to win this game. And I think that matters on both ends because this is the first time in a while where, like when City played Arsenal before, it wasn't like, oh, we got to play because it wasn't a final. Like in sort of cup ties prior to finals, okay, if you win, you win. If you lose, you lose. You have to win this game. It's a win or a lose. It's nothing else because the definitive result after the result is you won. There's no more after this. In every other City Arsenal sort of fixture in the past, there's always been more after it. There's nothing after this. And so I think if they show up and City wins, I think Arsenal is fine going forward. I think they can see their path. Well, and because it's the point I said, hey, would you mind winning the Champions League over XYZ? And you're like, hell yeah. And so I think that's sort of the mentality. Now, I'm just speaking from the outside looking. And but I don't know what the result is because finals are funny, weird things.
Yeah, I want to ask you about tactics in a second, but we'll get your thoughts, Asif. What are you thinking?
As neutral, I think it's more the pressure's more on City than it is on Arsenal. Just because of the fact that of the results lately, it could be a boost to Man City if they actually win and they can take that going forward. If not, that's if you guys win, for example, that's something that's just a plus. That's a bonus here going forward, and some more momentum going into the Champions League and the rest of your league games. So, I think it's important psychologically for both teams, but more so for Man City.
I'm gonna disagree with that, and I'm gonna disagree for this reason. We've literally, City is psychologically fucked up right now. I don't think the result will matter in that way. I'm just being honest. I mean,
as in going forward for the rest of the season as well. Look,
I don't think it'll matter. I really don't.
Well, let me ask you this. Let me ask you this, Nez, to maybe clarify it.
And then you're knocked out of the cup and you don't even win it. Yes, it's going to have an effect.
But here's the thing, Asif. Will the Champions League loss have a bigger effect?
I think it would be more motivation.
Oh, like overall, like that's going to be worse.
Yeah,
they're juxtaposed. They're juxtaposed, and so you can't separate them because they're like literally chronologically juxtaposed. That's why it's tough to separate them. If this cup final was 3 weeks from now, your season, like you're saying, this season would still be taking a hit from going out of the Champions League. So yes, the double hit, should I win on Sunday? Yes, I understand that. But the Champions League is still, like, for me, a bigger hit. Because yes. I was thinking before the Leverkusen game, because when you get those little nerves right when kickoff's coming, I'm like, yo, this could be a stumbling block,
Yeah,
if we go to the champs tonight, that would have been a nightmare. That could have been a huge flat on your face kind of moment,
From me personally, I think it's this time of the season is the wrong time to have a stumble.
Yeah.
If you look at all the teams that have won, like Champions League, for example, or they won the league, they go strong at the end. And this is why I'm saying this about Manchester City. If you look at the when they won, for example, the treble, or when they won, when they won more cups previously, they finished the end of the season very strongly, and I don't see that for Man City this season.
Yeah.
I don't think Man City sees it. This is why I don't think a loss has that effect, because I think they're already down. I don't think that has that Jake said it earlier. There's already rebuilding going on. I mean, because I'm being honest. Say they win the cup, right? Say they win this cup. Say they win this cup and the FA Cup, right? That still won't feel good. It won't feel good at all. Like, they still know that the bigger issue is when it was time to show up for the competitions that we were built for, we didn't show up. And I think that matters. And so I think that has more of an effect. I'm telling, and the funny thing is, they'll sound spoiled. They'll sound like they don't appreciate it, but it's true, because think about it. When Newcastle won the the League Cup last year, right? That people they celebrated it, but it didn't have that effect going forward, because their season was kind of a dump anyways before that. So, I mean, because here's the thing. I'm not saying it's guaranteed, but City is, well, I think we all are in agreement. City will finish in the top 4 or 5. I don't think anyone's questioning that, which means they'll be in the champ. So they'll be in the Champions League next year. So they already know they have the thing they want. But then what? Like, the thing you played for is not there anymore. And I think that because the FA Cup, like, think about the last two. They were in the last, 2 or 3 FA Cup finals, and they shit the bed. Like, they didn't take it seriously at all, and it didn't hurt them to lose those finals.
The last 3, actually.
Yeah, 3. No, we won the one. No, we lost.
No, you beat United, then you lost to United, and then you lost to Palace. Yeah,
right. But think about it.
Like I say, mathematically, you've got a chance if you win your game in hand, and if you beat, and you have to beat Arsenal, you realistically then. But it's all ifs, buts, and maybes at the moment.
But even then, see if I hear you, but I get your logic. But just watching my team, I don't feel, and I just said I don't feel if we could beat Arsenal Sunday and in the league, I still don't think it's enough. I don't think it's enough.
I'll tell you right now, Nez, I still believe if you beat me in the League Cup final and at the Etihad, I still win the league. I still win the league.
I agree with that. I agree.
Yeah.
From
I don't think it's enough.
From the running, more.
I just don't. The schedule doesn't line up that way. It just doesn't.
Yeah.
Arsenal would literally have to capitulate 2 games.
It would have to be nuts. It would have to be nuts.
It's not happening. It's not happening.
But I think it would be cool if he went to the last day of the season.
No, I don't think it would. I don't think that would be cool at all.
Of course you wouldn't think it would.
I don't
think Arsenal's going to suck either. I'm pretty sure I said I didn't think that was going to happen. But
I disagree with that, though. I actually disagree with Charles on this, and I wanted to get into the kind of tactically how it might sort itself out. And you made the point that you got to win. There are no permutations. There are no outside influences. This is a final. Win the game. And so because that's the remit, I feel like honestly, if you think about it, we're very similar. The way our teams play is very similar. When Man City are at their best, it's when they're pressing you high, they're suffocating you, they're winning the ball back, 1-2 touch stuff, clinical finishing.
I actually agree with Charles for this one. I don't think it's going to be a big. I think
it's going to be a good game. I think it's going to be a good game. I don't think we're going to approach it. I don't think we're parking buses. I don't think there's going to be any park bus.
Because you can't get a draw. There's no draw.
I think when Donnarumma has the win.
I disagree. Not playing. Trafford's playing.
Whatever. When your goalkeeper has the ball, we are going to press the life out of you to try to make you hit it long. When Raya or Aritza Balaga, whoever plays for us, has the ball, you are going to press the hell out of us to try and make it hit it long. So I think that if it's normal, and this is going to lead into my next point, my next question, if it's normal how the formations and the tactics that we've employed for most of the season, if that's what we see, then I think there will be some back and forth. City will have their moments in possession, and we'll have our moments in possession where both teams are soaking it up and trying to be compact, etc. And so because of our similar styles, I think it won't be back and forth basketball like a Liverpool game, but it'll be Man City will have their time on top for a little bit, and then Arsenal will have their time on top, and it'll go back and forth and back and forth. But here's the kicker. Here's what might throw a spanner in the works. Is Pep going to level himself? Now, you've played poker, right? Have you ever played a poker tournament?
Yeah. Well, I haven't played in a tournament. I play poker with buddies.
Right. So have you ever gotten to a leveling war where in your thinking you raise and then your friend raises and then you're like, no, I raise. And then, no, you raise me back. And so what could be going on in your mind is, okay, I'm bluffing here, right? And so dude raises it and you're like, oh, well, you know what? Maybe he thinks I'm bluffing. And so I'm going to raise again. Right. And then your buddy's like, you know what? Maybe he thinks that I think that he thinks that I'm bluffing. And so I'm going to raise again. Right. And so then it's back to me. Well, I think that he thinks that I think that he thinks that I think that he thinks that maybe I think that he's bluffing. And so do you think that Pep is going to be like, well, I know Arteta's going to do this. I know they're going to press in this way. So you know what? I'm going to change tactically to do this. Oh, yeah. And then it's over to Arteta. And then it's Arteta's going to be like, you know what? Pep might see that we play this way. And then he's going to change tactically this way. And so I'm going to change tactically this way. And then it's back over to Pep. Pep's like, you know what? He might anticipate me changing the tactics. So I'm actually going to change it in this way. You know, do you think that we might get into a leveling war and Pep might level himself and pull a madness and do something crazy like not playing Kevin De Bruyne or Rodri in a Champions League final?
I think here's what I hope. And I think the Ellen DeGeneres shirt is going to lead to this. I think, and you know what, Charles has motivated me to say this, and based on what you said as well. I think we've been waiting for years for the Arsenal City game to be like a Liverpool City game. I think we get one on Sunday.
I think we do as well, actually.
I think we do as well.
And here's another reason I agree with you on that is because of what we were saying about the mentality. If this game was, if you were 2 points behind and you had gone through in the Champions League and I had gone through in the Champions League and, you know, we're neck and neck and we're neck and neck for the title, this game's going to have a lot more psychologically on it. But because I'm 9 points clear, I'm through in the Champions League. I had a fantastic people are comparing the Max Dowman moment to some of the greatest nights at the Emirates Stadium. I heard somebody compare it to Arshavin versus Barca, you know, and then we go through with an Eze screamer and a Declan Rice man of the match performance. We go through, we're having an amazing week mentally, you know, and so I think there's going to be freedom. I think we're going to play with freedom.
I think so.
Like I said, I don't think that there's going to be, we're obviously not feeling 22 years of pressure to win this trophy. We've actually not won this trophy since I was 2. We've actually not won this for 32 years. But I don't think that pressure oh, you've got to get one over the line. Oh, you have to win a trophy. I don't think that pressure is going to be there as much as it would have been if we were neck and neck in this title race and you were playing to your full potential and it actually looked scary and in jeopardy. I think there'd be a way different game. So I agree. I think that we're finally going to get a game where there's no incentive to park the bus. There's no incentive to stink out the game.
There's none. You have to. That's why I said there's no draw. You have to win the game. There's nothing next.
So I'm excited. I'm confident, but I'm also like, once again, it's a one-off. It's a final, and
hard to call.
And we have a great record against City at Wembley. Actually, Arsenal has a great record at Wembley, obviously. And so I'm confident, and I think it's going to be a fun game. I think it's going to be a fantastic game. Absolutely, dude.
And here's the thing. I'll say this. I would prefer to go down trying than sitting there parking the bus, man. And I mean that on both sides. I can't speak for you, but if the result is not what I want, but it was a good game, I'm fine with that. I'd prefer that because we can't have.
I'd be disappointed too. I'd be disappointed too, man. Look at it. Look at
do it in the final. It's trash.
Look at the way you're playing. Look at the way you're playing right now. Why should I be scared of you? I have the best defense in the world. Why? And we have attackers coming to life at the right time in the season. Like, there's no reason for me to be scared to have to park the bus versus an attack that's not really firing, and where the blueprint is there to break your high line. There's no reason for us to be scared at all, and I don't think we will be. I think we're going to go for it. I think you're going to go for it. I think it's going to make for excellent viewing. Finally, an Arsenal City game with some freedom.
We've been waiting for years for a good one, man. We haven't gotten
freedom attached to it. With some freedom attached to it. What did he say here?
Last two options.
Man City, 2 options. Using Doku or midfield overload with extra mid for Rodri. Wide width is the option for us because we don't have the counter and faster wide men. But what if Martinelli starts? What if Martinelli starts? He can get in behind that line. He can get in a foot race with Nunez. I think Kusanov probably starts.
He for sure starts. He shouldn't be dropped unless he's tired.
I think you can't play Gahey, so it'll be Kusanov and Diaz. But yeah, I think it's going to be a fun game. I absolutely do think it's going to be a great game. But that's actually not the only game at the weekend. Do we want to touch in on some of the stuff? Spurs are playing Forest. It's a Tyne-Weir derby.
I didn't even know there was league games. Hold on, man. I got to look.
There's Premier League games.
Yeah,
Asif plays Brighton at lunchtime kickoff on Saturday. Man U play Brentford on Friday. It's all happening.
Brentford is a hard game.
Yeah. Look out, Arun. Yeah, that's a tough one.
The Tyneside derby. That's going to be both of them not really in form. Especially with Tonali out, it's going to be it's going to be an interesting game.
Sunderland went to Leeds, I think, and won 1-0.
They tend to turn up on derbies historically.
Right, but they got to 40 points that night, if you remember.
Yeah.
I did the watch along. I did the watch along for that game. And I'll know and the reason I remember this now is because of the way they have not won a game since. And
really,
they were celebrating, but they were celebrating like it was the last day of the season. And they had won the cup. Because they know what safety is. They're safe, Sunderland. And that's why they've gotten beat at home twice since then. Because they're safe. They're good to go. But I agree with you, Asif. 100% they're going to get up for this.
Yeah, I think we'll see a different Sunderland for this game.
It's at St. James, though. It can be tough.
But they've got no Gimaresh and they've got no Tonali. He doesn't look like Tonali's playing either. So that's
he did his thigh or something today. It was
he's
bad.
Groin apparently. Yeah, something along those lines. So he doesn't look good. That's a lot of creativity from their midfield missing. So
Absolutely. Example matches here. first leg versus Madrid because Madrid countered with the wide man, Pep fell flat, ankles to and Pep because Gakpo and Salah. So it's
but see that first result, the lineup was bad. Like he had no holding midfield. Like he
and
played
they skipped the midfield anyway. They were skipping the midfield anyway.
But when we were in possession, we couldn't do anything because we didn't have nobody to hold the ball. Like it was an awful line. It was terrible. Like I hear that, but I don't. If he does that again, then it's whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like whatever.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see.
But I think Sunderland might have something for Newcastle. Honestly, I think it'll be should be a good game. But I think the biggest game of the weekend, other than the Cup final, is Spurs versus Forest. Because honestly, other than the Europa League final, this is the biggest game for Spurs in a long time. And I think that they've been bolstered. And Asif, I blame you. I absolutely blame you. Because your horrendous performance gave them life, gave them hope. And they beat Atletico Madrid today. Obviously didn't go through. But that's also a boost to the morale. And I'm a little bit scared now. And I'm a little bit miffed with you, man. Because I actually said it. I did the watch-along for Liverpool Spurs. And I actually said it at the end of that game. I was like, I think that's a turning point. Guys, that might be a turning point for the Spuds. And I blame Liverpool and Slot, of course. But that game... Don't tell me that game is actually at the same time.
What? The Spurs game is at 10:15.
Oh yeah, so the Cup final's not till noon 30, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
They don't make other games, not English games, during a final. They wouldn't do that.
They wouldn't do that. Good. So I'll get to watch both of those games actually on Sunday before the Cup final. We'll definitely be locked in. That's what's up. Let's see what else. West Ham got a trip to Aston Villa. That'll be tough. Chelsea, they might not beat Everton, man. Chelsea might be in free fall.
I think, yeah.
What is their manager doing, man? Like, I don't understand what they're doing.
Well, according to the board, the manager doesn't really have that much influence anyway.
I mean, we knew that, though. Like, we knew that.
What is this? Apparently, I have plans on Sunday morning.
Yeah, football game.
So you can't be.
Yeah, there's a Carabao Cup Final are my plans on Sunday morning. Kidding me right now? Don't be doing that. Don't be doing things like that to me. Oh my goodness gracious! Yeah, like I was like, what did I miss? When was I not listening? There must have been a moment where I wasn't listening.
I got nothing for you, bro. I got nothing.
but yeah, I definitely think Everton might have something for Chelsea. We shall see. They are a difficult outfit. But there's only one more topic. We've done very, very well this evening to hit everything. There's one more topic we do need to get to, and I just want to put my 2 cents in. I think it's a dangerous precedent to start doing retroactive trophy taking. I understand this one. I understand that they did indeed forfeit the match by walking off the field. But also, you should have done it then. You should have made the ruling right then. Why is it 2 months later? What are you guys' thoughts on the AFCON stuff?
Yeah, my thoughts exactly, Jake. They should have done it then. When they walked off, they should have, okay, that's fine. You've lost 3-0 according to the handbook, according to the rules. And that's it. Why wait 2 months? Why go through all this, the Senegal team celebrating with the cup, etc., etc.? Why?
It was a damn farce.
And poor Senegal must have wasted a lot of money on those title celebrations over there as well. And then...
That's right.
But not only that, here's the thing, to Steve's point, like, who's going to acknowledge that? Like, you know, the funny thing about these things when they vacate history, Who looks at history? The Mandela effect is real, man. I saw them lift the trophy. I don't care what else happened. Like, it's not even real. That's stupid.
Yeah, I mean, that's why it has to happen. I feel like you got to do it in the moment. You just have to, like, and what's weird is the rule, the AFCON rules, like Asif said, if you step off the pitch, that is a forfeit.
Done.
Period. Like, period. And so the referee, I think the referee just got, I mean, you remember the chaos at the end of that game. He just got, it went over. It just went, he lost control. It just got out of control. And he probably didn't have the level of authority established because of how poor he was throughout the game to be able to control it at the end and just make that decision and be like, you know what? All right, I'm done with y'all playing around. You're gonna F around, and now we found out forfeit, like the rule book says. And I'm not saying anything against why they were walking off. I'm not saying anything against their reasoning for walking off. I'm not saying I'm for their reasoning for walking off. But at the end of the day, you left the pitch. And by the rules, the letter of the law. So it's kind of weird. It's just the timing that makes it really weird.
But I think, if I'm being honest, I think what essentially would have happened, and I'm just playing the scenario in my head, based on the environment, the energy, and everything that was going on there, I think, especially the way the Moroccan fans were functioning, the ball boys, etc. I think if he does that day, there's a riot. Like, people start fighting in the stadium because they was already fighting, and I think it gets worse. And so I think there's a safety thing. Now, while I get what you're saying, if they did it the next day or after the game, once everyone was safe, I would agree with that. They didn't need to sit and wait how much ever time has passed. But I because I don't know if you all have ever like refereed games. I've officiated football, soccer, basketball, etc. People are crazy, and you could see, and they was already on him. I'm saying this because we've seen this happen in history, where it happened in Brazil, where somebody, I think a referee got beat up or killed. Somebody got shot.
Yeah.
I'm saying to you that if he did it there, something happens to him. So I understand why he doesn't do it in the game. But once he was to safety, this is on the is it CAF? I think it's or AFCON, whoever is the governing body. They should have done it that day. That day. Yeah. I understand not doing it in the game book for the security purposes, but that day at the press conference, they could have did it virtually. I don't even care. And I agree. I agree with what that was saying there. This is why that point matters. And on the comment, if they did it that day, we don't run into this problem. The controversy would have been over already, because then you can't. This is where I can't go back and be like, oh man, well, they gave him the trophy. They did the parade up. Not if you did it that night. If you did it that night. Now, people, here's what would have happened based on the negativity of the world. People would have said somebody in Morocco paid the people off to do X, Y, Z. Conspiracy would have went wild, just like it exists now. It had just been louder. But the thing is that they would have had the rules to stand on. You saw Asif called it black and white. You called it black and white. You walk off the pitch, you lose 3-0. That's all they had to say. You couldn't even go and then complain about that because they're standing on that rule. Yes.
They'll definitely take it. They'll definitely take it to the Court of Arbitration for Sport.
Why take that long, Charles? Why take that long? If they did it that night, I understand the safety thing, because that's what they could say. Hey, for safety reasons, we didn't do it on the field, but I just want to do an emergency announcement in collaboration with FIFA. Because this team walked off the pitch, we have to retroactively. Senegal has forfeited the game. Morocco is the champion. Done. Because think about what happened. Think about the news that we heard that came out, where the Moroccan, Senegalese people couldn't get out of the airport and all that stuff. Like, there was all kind of crazy stuff going on. So imagine if they won and they did it that day, it would have been absolute chaos there.
No, I see your point. I see that. That
Absolute
actually makes a lot of
chaos.
sense.
So I'm not going to call them soft for not for waiting. It's how long they waited that makes it questionable. It didn't take that long to do that. It didn't. I mean, my dinosaur would have made that decision. What?
Yeah, and I mean, I think Charles is right here. It's a really bad look overall for the game. But also, do you think that FIFA's kind of devil may care, we do whatever the hell we want attitude kind of gives the continental federations that same feeling that, you know what, well, nobody is going to say anything. We'll just do whatever we want because we are the governing body of the whole tournament.
For sure. I agree.
Yeah, maybe there's a little bit of that. What do you think, Asif?
Yeah, in regards to FIFA, you know my thoughts on FIFA at the moment. And yeah, just a mockery. So if they're doing that, then obviously it bleeds down to Europe, UEFA, to CONCACAF, etc. So if they're doing, and you know, basically, yeah, as you've seen with the World Cup. So yeah, they can do with their their continental competition what they like. Not really much FIFA can do about it in regards to that. So.
Well, FIFA does like give you rewards for winning that tournament, right? So if you won that tournament, it's like a bid to this tournament and then a bid to the. Do they still do the
Yeah,
like
but they can't really. They
the
can't
Continental
really,
Champions thing or whatever?
Yeah, but they don't really interfere in continental rules, for example.
Yeah, well.
So it's for example with the European Cup, it's UEFA rules, even though FIFA oversees everything. It's basically UEFA rules. So
yeah, sure. Yeah, but it definitely doesn't. I mean, it's not a great look on the game in general. It's definitely not a great look on the African Confederation, like that governing body. It's definitely not a good look on them at all.
Terrible.
I mean, the tournament that you hosted was just the whole time was just allegations of this and craziness at the match and you know, and accusations of that, and
it's got a
cowboy drama, and
AFCON has a reputation sometimes of controversy. It's not the first time it's happened, so, and I doubt it'll be the last. So,
if we were Moroccan players, this is a good question. Like, how would you? Yeah, I mean, ask Brahim Diaz, the guy who missed the penalty.
I think
it's just such a weird,
because he was at home in front of their fans. So
it's the same way. Like, if say Man City are found guilty of 115 and then stripped of titles, I'm not gonna all of a sudden think that I won in 23-24. It's not gonna mean shit to me if Man City are stripped of a title and I should have won that year because they cheated or whatever. That's like, how am I going to get that back? How am I going to get that feeling? I'm not going to get that feeling back. Maybe money. I get the monetary thing if they want to fix the monetary aspect of it. But
precedents for it. For example, in Italy, when they had that Calpolioli scandal, and then they
took titles from Juventus.
Yeah, and they gave basically loads of Juventus titles to Inter.
And who paid to do that?
Yeah, they did
no one even knows.
But as a fan, like, does it matter to me? Like, I'm not going to all of a sudden say that, you know, I won 3 extra titles because we were in the title race with Pep for 3 seasons and he cheated. Like, I'm not going to all of a sudden feel like I won 3 in a row because I was second place and they gave it to me because of some random cheating. I get punishing City for cheating, but do like points now. Punish them, you know.
It's different, Jake, because the points thing and is totally different to paying a referee off.
I mean, when you're looking at punishing an infraction, I understand there are levels of degree, but cheating is still cheating. You know, like, you know, and that's why the whole thing with Chelsea is so weird. Like, you self-reported like you've admitted to actually giving illicit payments to third-party agents to convince the likes of Willian and Hazard to come to the club, which is expressly forbidden, but you still get a $10 million fine.
I'll tell you why that's happened, though, Jake, because the fact that
but Luton Town points, Leicester points, Everton points.
It was a previous administration, so they can't be held accountable for it, more or less.
It's still the same institution. It's still the same institution.
And because they came clean, they're gonna
look at them
favorably.
But here's and I hear you, Sif, and I get that. But here's the thing: we had this conversation probably 2-3 weeks ago. Billionaires protect each other, man. Nobody's apologizing for them. They understand. What they did to Chelsea, because I think they have a 1-year transfer ban or something like that. I don't know when it starts, but I think it was.
So they can't sign. They can't sign youngsters under 18 for a year, and then they have an actual transfer ban, but it's suspended for 2 years. So it's not for like 2 seasons.
No. What happens is when it's suspended for 2 years, is basically if they don't do anything in those 2 years, then basically they don't get any. They basically just
any more punishment. Yeah.
So to Asif's point, and just kind of going with that, it's the billionaires are protecting each other. If you do something to stop Chelsea Football Club, which is in the top 6 of clubs, as far as historical whatever, it's a major London club in Europe, and they bring in TV revenue, fan revenue. If you take them away from the money making that is the Premier League, which goes with TV, you hurt yourself. They are never, ever going to do that to a big team. Never. So the question about the points, well, of course I'm going to take points from a nobody team. They don't have any money.
Unfortunately,
the money they would get came from me, from where they are based on the points. So that's just saying I'm not going to pay you the same amount of money. That's your penalty. Your penalty is, because we know how it's tiered. You get money based on your position. Well, if I take points from you, that means I took points and I took money. Don't do it again. If you're not one of these guys, if you don't make us money.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, it feels dirty, but I know you're right. Life isn't fair. Life isn't fair, and the world revolves around money. And we're never going to change that. It's been that way, whether was the best spot by the lake and the hottest cave chick with the best, rack of lamb that I killed over here, whether that's what money and power is today, or whether, in the future it's who controls the most robots. It's still all going to be about money and power. So yeah, the fact that I get it. I absolutely get it. So why on earth, even if they do find Man City guilty of 115, you're not getting relegated.
And this is why I don't understand why people are
going to kick you out of the league, because you make the league far too much money. You make the league far too much TV revenue. And right now, if you actually go and look at the percentage of where loot comes from in the Premier League, you'd be surprised. You'd be shocked that it's like 80% TV deals. It's massive amounts of TV money. It's massive TV money.
And so your answer to that, to yourself as an organization, is to say, I'm going to get one of my top earners and I'm going to kick him out. So I lose how much? And it was worth what to send them there? Yeah, I'm not doing that.
Never happening.
I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
Yeah, I hear you. So we may be waiting on the 115 verdict forever. That just might be a thing to get clicks for the Premier League ad infinity.
That's all it is. Because then here's the thing. technically, what's more embarrassing? And I'm not saying it's embarrassing because it's not to be an insult to you, but I just want to think about this. What's more embarrassing? What Pep is going through in City not doing anything, or the relegation? You know that this moment here gets more banter than anything like that. Because then they're off the radar completely. You're not checking for a championship team.
No.
How do you got to keep them in the algorithm? Ain't nobody checking for nobody down there. Nobody. Like, can we please stop being silly about thinking how these things work? Billionaires protect each other. I'm telling you right now. If all three of us are billionaires and something crazy happens and they say, "Hey, man, you got to testify against Jake," I'm gonna be like, "No,
but
I'm not testifying at all."
This is favorable for Man City because they can use this as a precedent for when they basically get.
Well, their situation is different because they didn't self-report or whatever. As far as different to Chelsea. But they had 74 charges as well. Like the charges are the numerous as well. But yeah, I agree 100%. Like it's at the end of the day, we have to live in reality and not what we think should be. Because reality is it's about the Benjamins and whatever is protecting the status quo that's making everybody shitloads of money is what is going to be the reality. And that's going to be the reality we try to protect and we endeavor to, foster and keep here. Just like any entity, just like any money-making business organization, it's all about trying to keep it going and make it grow. And that's why on the horizon, you are going to see a Premier League streaming service.
Yep. And to start your streaming service, you're going to kick out one of the teams that just grew their base. That's what you're going to do. Stop.
Never.
Stop.
Never. So when we're talking about these conversations, you always have to have in the back of your mind, well, yeah, some dirty shit's probably going on because the people doing the dirty shit are protecting the other people, and the other people that are accusing them of doing the dirty shit are also doing the dirty shit, and so it's just let's make sure we don't get punished too much and we can continue to do what we're doing anyway. It's kind of what it looks like for me on the Chelsea side of things. And honestly, like you've said this before, Lewis, I'm just kind of minding my own business over here in regard to this. Like, please don't catch any charges, Arsenal. Just don't catch charges. Just I know you're doing something. I know there's probably something going on.
Everyone is doing something.
You're probably out there trying to get an edge in some way and trying to make more money in some way after the 37 merch drops we've had in the last 5 days or whatever. But yeah, you know what I mean? But
so remember that last week I'm sorry, I forgot the guy's name. I want to call him Max, but it's not Max. On last week.
Anton.
So when Anton was on, remember I said, and you all disagree with me, and I hear you. I said that the onus is on you to prove me guilty, and the answer was, well, you got to do X, Y, Z, and you got to prove your innocence. So if I start giving you information, look what happened. Just literally look what happened. I self-report. That what is the incentive? Who does that? I don't care what the legal system is. No one is self-reporting because, so I self-report and this is what I get. Nah, man. I'm gonna make you do the work.
The thing is, think about it like this. Like if I rat out everyone in the gang, if I get caught for trying to steal a diamond heist, and then I rat everybody else out in the diamond heist that is in my gang, my crew, the cops will give me a lesser sentence. That's the idea, right? That's what. And
then the idea follows that, and then you can't walk out in the street because they knew you was a rat. Was it worth that? Was it worth that? I'm just saying that's what the idea is. I hear you. I agree. Think about it. We already know the code of that, and so we're talking about the Billionaires Boys Club. There's no way.
Yeah.
There's no way.
No, I'm with you. I'm with you on that. But I think we're over 2 hours. I think we're definitely going to cut it right there. It's been a good one. We did get to a bunch of the topics that we wanted to get to. I'm very happy about that. Of course, Pep, what's going to be his fashion choice for the Carabao Cup final. We can only hope that he's wearing a dinosaur hat and he puts the black oil shirt back on and he gets looking like the assassin, the CIA assassin that he normally looks like. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Of course, the topic of discussion in the week will, of course, be how's Arteta going to respond? What will he wear to the Carabao Cup final? Of course, these are the most important things we need to be making sure we're locked into. So go ahead and smash up the likes on your way out of this one. It's certainly been a good one. I hope you've had as much fun as we have. Please subscribe. If you're new, it would be an honor.
Subscribe. Tune in next week. See what Seb's Nez is going to wear next week.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what Nez is wearing next week. Yeah, that'll be awesome. Depending on the results, who knows? Who knows? Yeah, absolutely. So subscribe if you're new, of course, and make sure you got the notification bell on. We will be live very soon. Once again, of course, lots more content coming down the pipe. So I hope you have a very good evening, morning, afternoon, whatever it is, wherever it is you are watching this from. It's been a good one from us and you. See you soon.